What's up, guys? So, week 4 of Jesus Is. Today we're going to be talking about how Jesus is the best friend. And we're going to be talking about that mainly around Matthew 14, 28 through 32. Now, this is the story about how life got turned upside down. No, it's not. This is the story about Peter walking on water and how amazing it was that he did that. Now, why am I sitting in front of the cabin, which some of you might have seen outside of ZPC? Well, I wanted to sit out here because one, it's a beautiful day, and two, this cabin really represents what I believe to be a best friend. Someone who's experienced, who may be a little weathered at times, but you know that there's some story behind that friendship. Now that we've looked at Matthew 14, some of you have already heard this story. So it's the story of Peter walking on water. But if you saw my video on Wednesday, of the Word Wednesday, we talked about how most people will look at this story and really focus in on Peter's doubt, on how he sank. But we also need to look at the fact that Peter got a few steps out there. Peter was able to walk on the water for a few steps toward Jesus. And like we talked about on Wednesday, Jesus invited him out onto the water. Jesus doesn't just tell us, I'm going to do everything and you just get to sit there. The other things that we can gather from this was that Jesus was not only a teacher in this moment, he was actually being a friend. Because like we'll talk about in a little bit, Jesus challenged all of his disciples in many different ways to step out of their comfort zone. And some, even as we see in Peter, to step out onto the water. Now we ask, what water do you need to step out on today? So just like the house behind me, we were talking about how this is weathered and it has seen some better days. But we can also see this in our friendships. How friendships don't just start off as being best friends. You have to weather the storms together. What we learn in this passage is that Jesus doesn't only call out to Peter, but he invites him and he includes him and he welcomes Peter with open arms. So Jesus invites us, and he includes us, and he welcomes us. But what he also does is encourages, helps, supports, and challenges us. So now before you can challenge your friends, before you can challenge those that you love, there must be trust. Now Jesus doesn't just start the first day with his disciples and say, Peter, come walk out to me on the water. They would probably look at him like, are you kidding me? But because there was already trust built, Peter was able to at least get a few steps into the water. Now, what we learn from that is that Jesus invites us to be more than just bystanders. He invites us to be like him. As we see in Matthew 28, we are commissioned to go out and spread the gospel. Like Peter, Jesus invites us to step out on the water, get out of our comfort zone, and love those around us. Jesus is the best friend, and we can learn so much from him. Now, when you think of your own best friends, when you think of the friends that you have around you, we talked about last week how some of you may feel like you're the only one that loves Jesus. And like I said last week, that's okay. You're not meant to change every single person. But what I challenge you today with is to be that person that loves those around them. Be that friend that is the best friend that we see in Jesus. Jesus hung out with the worst of the worst. But he was rooted in the Father. If you have the faith to walk out a few steps on that water and you fall in, Jesus will meet you there. He will be there. I challenge you to walk out onto the water and to be that friend to someone else that you have hopefully found in Jesus. And to take it to those around you and to show them the love that you've been shown. We miss you guys. We love you. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. See you guys.